Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rise or Die podcast. This is yours truly, Stephen M. Lowisz, for episode 80, Speak Up. So it took me a very long time to actually convince myself to do a podcast. Now I'm on episode 80. I don't mind it whatsoever. I have a microphone sitting in front of me looking at my computer, and hey, I'm good to go. Sometimes I even do it from the car. It's really easy to do. But I had a huge mental block in front of me when I first started trying to consider the idea of doing a podcast. Now today, I am doing my first Facebook Live. I've never done one because one, I don't like getting in front of a camera too much. Two, and this goes back to one of the previous episodes, I haven't felt very qualified to actually share what I believe is important to be shared. And we all have something that we want to speak up about. I mean, shit, look at Facebook. Who doesn't have a political opinion? Who's not a cryptocurrency expert? I mean, you name it, like everyone's an expert in something now, right? And the funny part is, like, they're just reading headlines and coming up with conclusions about random crap. It's hilarious. But I don't want to be looked at like that when I do my first Facebook Live. Because the topic that I'm talking about is actually very important and it's very dear to my heart. You know, and you guys know a lot of this story because I've shared a lot of it on the podcast. But when I first got married, I had a horrible marriage. The only example I was ever given of a man was essentially, workaholic, right? And I love my dad to death. We have a great relationship now, but it was really rocky. It was the only example I had. So then I took that into my marriage. Basically destroyed my marriage, almost went through divorce, spent went 100K into debt to help save my marriage by getting into some programs and starting to flip my life around. I mean, it's been a long and painful journey. It feels like the last even just 3 years have been never ending. Like, fucking brutal. I'm going to be completely honest with you. But the realization that I came to over the last couple of years is that a man can have it all. A man can have it all across body, being, balance, and business. You can be fit, you can be connected with God, you can be in a marriage on fire, and you can make it rain. The problem, and a lot of the hesitancy that I've had, comes from the fact that there's like 1,000,002 people, probably even more, that want to preach like get rich quick schemes, whether that's Forex, cryptocurrency, ClickFunnels, affiliate. Like there's all sorts of random gimmicky shit out there. It's not what I'm talking about at all. What I do is I coach and train men that are looking for more, want fulfillment. It's so much deeper than, hey, let's go make $1 million. You may or may not do that. But because I've been so hesitant, I haven't actually done a Facebook Live ever. I've kind of gone like half in, half out in terms of declaring this story and these principles to the market. 1, they sound cheesy. 2, they're far-fetched. 3, there's so many gimmicks out there. It's part of the reason that it took me so damn long to do a podcast, and now it's been taking me so damn long to actually get in front of a camera and make a bold declaration that men are fucking up, they are destroying their families, but we also are the ones that are going to save our families, save our communities, and build the life that we want. Not just for our own selfish reasons, but the life that we want to give our family, friends, employees, those around us, those that look up to us. I think men are the problem, but they're also the solution. No one actually teaches a man how to be a man. No one actually teaches a man how to navigate emotions while also just shutting up and doing the fucking work. No one teaches a man how to we have two extremes. Let me go on a 2-second rant here. We have two extremes. We have a bunch of pansy-ass men that want to sit and dwell in their feelings and talk about, skinny jeans and whatnot. And then we have a bunch of guys that they don't know what emotions are. They're not emotionally available for their wife, their kids, anyone around them. They're just stone cold sedated men. Which one's better? Neither. But this is essentially what I'm making this number up, but 90% of men are. So again, I think men are the problem, but they're also the solution. And again, this is a very bold declaration that I'm making. So the reason that it's applicable to you is not, hey, go watch the Facebook Live later, although if you want to, feel free. This is more about the fact that I believe each and every one of us has something valuable to share. I think each and every one of us is qualified in our own unique way to say what needs to be said. What are you really passionate about, but you're stuffing down because you're afraid of what others are going to think? Like, this is me being vulnerable. Like, if I was the kind of guy that just wanted to, feed my ego, I'd be like, guys, go listen to this Facebook Live. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm awesome. I'm fearless. Like, no, I don't like this. And this is like a really mundane, I don't know if mundane's the right word, but it's a really small task to do in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, come on, it's a Facebook Live. Shut the fuck up. I get it. But we all have roadblocks in our head about different things. We also have valuable lessons and principles that we need to share. Are you leading your family in a relationship with God, or does that make you nervous and a little bit fearful? I get it. It's the same thing for me. It's really awkward to say, hey, Rachel, my wife, let's pray. Do you have something big that you want to take to market, but you're afraid of what others will think? You're afraid of failure. Like, there's a billion reasons that keep us from actually getting out to the market what we want. And I don't just mean to make money. I don't make any money off the podcast. I don't make any money off of probably 80% of what I do. I just want to bring value to others. I have a lot of faults, but I am very empathetic. I see where I came from. I see the pain that I went through. And I don't want anyone else to have to deal with the same. And if your motivation is right, if you have good intent, you have every right to share your voice, your declaration with the marketplace, with friends, family, with anyone, strangers, doesn't matter. You are qualified. You need to speak up. Where do you need to speak up? What subject is it? Where is it across body, being, balance, and business? And how are you going to do that in the next 48 hours? Yes, I am a very action-driven person. You're going to make a big leap in the next 48 hours. What does that look like to you? That's what I'll leave you with today for episode 80. Speak up. As always, share this podcast with someone that you want more for out of their life, someone that needs a little kick in the ass every day, just like you get from me. In addition, feel free to shoot me any emails, steven@invictus.co. And lastly, subscribe at riseordiepodcast.com for some of our exclusive content. And the little tidbit is, yes, if you want to join our Facebook Live, it's at noon Eastern time. Just look up my name on Facebook. You're good to go. Or facebook.com/smlowisz. That being said, I'll talk to you tomorrow for episode 81.